President Vladimir Zelensky urged his detractors to go to the front line, instead of crying about his government, saying political opponents should prioritize the conflict with Russia over everything else. In an interview with Fox News' Bret Baier on Tuesday, Zelensky was asked to respond to allegations that he has sought to consolidate power, with the host citing reports that his administration had shuttered critical news outlets, arrested religious leaders, and transformed Ukraine into an authoritarian state. The president rejected the suggestion, addressing his critics directly. "I say, to such a person from government or mayors, think about the war, think about how to defend our people. Don't travel through the world each day, travel to the front line," he said. "And don't cry, because you're leaders, and that's it. That's why we are, and that's why we stayed, because most of the people are not crying." Baier referenced recent remarks by Kiev Mayor Vitaly Klitschko, who said that government action is increasingly centralized and depends on the whim of one man, referring to Zelensky. The Fox pundit also mentioned the case of Metropolitan Pavel, an Orthodox abbot at the Kiev Petrovsk Lavra monastery who was placed on house arrest earlier this year over his alleged support for Russia's military action, a charge the religious figure rejects. The government in Kiev has cracked down on the Ukrainian Orthodox Church for its historic ties to Moscow, though the church insists on its loyalty to Ukraine. Zelensky's sit-down with Fox took place during a trip to the U.S. this week, which he used to appeal for greater military support following dozens of previous aid packages worth well over $100 billion. The leader stated that Ukraine's military has made major progress against Russian forces, even claiming opposing troops failed to take a single additional village throughout 2023. These assertions appear to be contradicted by evidence from the battlefield, where Russian soldiers have captured urban centers such as Artyomsk, known as Bakhmut in Ukraine, and the nearby settlement of Soledar. Though Zelensky once labeled Artyomsk a fortress, and placed great importance in maintaining control of the city, he later downplayed its significance after Ukrainian troops were forced to pull back. Many U.S. lawmakers have grown increasingly skeptical of military aid to Kiev, with several Republicans vowing to block over $60 billion in assistance unless Democrats agree to border policy reforms. Though Zelensky was received with fanfare during past U.S. visits, his latest trip to Washington apparently failed to persuade GOP leaders, who continue to stall the aid package. During the same interview, Zelensky also gives U.S. TV viewers fake frontline facts. The Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has contradicted frontline developments by claiming that Russian troops have failed to capture a single village from Kiev's forces this year. The Ukrainian leader talked up his country's supposed military achievements in an interview with Fox News anchor Bret Baier on Tuesday. Zelensky visited Washington this week to urge continued military assistance for Kiev in 2024. Political clashes on Capitol Hill have caused a White House request for more than $110 billion in foreign security spending, including over $60 billion for Ukraine, to be blocked. Speaking in English, Zelensky claimed that Ukrainian forces had destroyed mostly the Russian fleet that was situated in our waters and near occupied Crimea. Kiev has launched several successful attacks on Russia's Black Sea Fleet using Western-provided cruise missiles, although Moscow's forces have repelled numerous other assaults. Zelensky further claimed that Ukraine had killed 20,000 members of the now disbanded Wagner private military company, and that Russia did not occupy any Ukrainian village during this year. The Ukrainian leader made the assertions despite evidence to the contrary on the battlefield, with Wagner fighters playing an important role in the fighting for the Donbass city of Artyomsk, known as Bakhmut in Ukraine. The Zelensky government had declared the city an invincible fortress, and reportedly ignored repeated U.S. calls to pull troops out. After losing control of the city in May, Zelensky downplayed the significance of the settlement, declaring that it no longer existed and remained only in our hearts. In early 2023, Kiev also lost control of Soledar in Donbass. Fox News host Baier did not dispute Zelensky's claims that Russia had enjoyed no success in the conflict. According to Western media, Kiev's bid to retain Artyomsk significantly impacted its summer counteroffensive, having needlessly drained Ukrainian manpower and resources. The push to break through Russian defensive lines, which started in June and according to Russia estimates cost Ukraine over 125,000 casualties, failed to yield significant territorial gains for Kiev. Zelensky and his aides publicly clashed with Ukraine's top general, Valery Zaluzhny, after he described the frontline situation as a stalemate in early November. The president's office finally acknowledged that no progress was being made by the end of the month. A profile of Zelensky published by Time magazine in late October said his close associates believe him to be delusional. His belief in a Ukrainian victory over Russia is immovable, verging on the messianic, according to the outlet. That's all for this video. Please don't forget to like, comment and share my videos to reach more viewers. Also subscribe my channel on YouTube, TikTok and Twitter so you will not miss any time I post a new video.